getting my stretches in. I'm getting ready for game 2 here on the stage. Golden Guardians Academy had a bad loss in that first game. 100 Thieves are out to a fantastic start. Really, they're keeping that momentum from yesterday into the series already. And we got to ask ourselves, how does Golden Guardians bounce back and try to see if they can take this next game off of 100 Thieves?
Yeah, and I mean, I was aligned with the desk game 1. I think that 100 Thieves got a draft they're pretty comfortable with, but sometimes in best of 5s, you take risk game 1, because if you give Kenvi Viego and you're able to beat it with a comp that you have, that can spell, mental advantage or a big change from the enemy moving forward. I fully expect that Golden Guardians are going to be able to go back to the drawing board, come up with something a little bit different, and hey, I know both of these rosters as well. A couple coaches, former players themselves, been in this situation on the stage many times before. See if Acadian and Golden Glue, respectively, can each go back to the drawing board, especially on the side of Golden Guardians, give themselves a few more areas where they can run with. One thing that's not changing, though, going to be the sides that each of these teams are on.
Or the bands so far. 3 of the same. Look at 4 of the same. Or we get 5, 6. Make it 6. Come on. Let's get another one. Hold on. Yep,
All right.
6.
So here's where the adaptation comes in, I think. Viego or Jinx first pick. I think that's like the first thing you look at. You're going to change the draft entirely. And that's going to be the play for Golden Guardians Academy. Now, the response for 100 Thieves, I think it's just grabbing the Ahri and or Viego. But we'll see. A big bot lane for them, it's been this Xayah Rakan. Busio is 6-1 on the Rakan throughout Proving Grounds. He was fantastic on it yesterday in Game 3 against Immortals. It is their pick into Jinx TK themselves. They played it to a lot of success. We'll see if they just slam that pairing here, or if they decide to take Viego.
There it is.
That's the move.
Grabbing Viego, making sure they have that for Kenvi as best possible to face off against Iconic.
So, we could see RETK. The other option for Iconic, grab J4. We've seen J4 get really popular, especially over in EU.
Yep.
Because you are able to utilize the Cataclysm on the Xayah. Yes, she can ult, but if her flash is down, she can't get out of the Cataclysm. So you go Chem take into Zanya's, and that's actually one of the bigger pivots we see. So Chai, we haven't seen a lot of Thresh. It's
He's fallen off for a while.
The TK, but they know that Rakan's really good for 100 Thieves. It's a better matchup into the Rakan. Busio does not care. This has been the go-to strat for 100 Thieves Academy. Their most played bot lane is these rookies have been really good on the Xayah Rakan. Still the move. We'll see what 100 Thieves decides to remove as, again, Golden Guardians showing their mid laner. But no jungler. 100 Thieves showing their jungler, no mid laner. So expect some bans to be thrown each of those roles.
Well, now I'm looking at this next part of the bans. Even if the bans have remained the same still, we've had 8 bans that are exactly the same. I'm expecting these last one, especially from Golden Guardians, to be different. I don't know if they deny that Gnar anymore.
Yeah, we could see a TF ban. I think that's something that could be another pivot. And you look at this comp for Golden Guardians, I mean, something else that we talked about a lot, like before the game started, Ornn. Big champion for both of these teams. Gamsu, he's just been very good at it. Tony Top, he's been very good on it. If you do leave up the Gnar, you can always blind the Ornn, and it's okay, but no, it's the Gnar ban. So that is setting up the Camille. Still, something that Tony Top's comfortable blinding, and that still leaves up the Twisted Fate, the answer into the Ahri last game. We'll see if they decide to make that the answer this game as well.
I'd expect it to be so. It worked so well with Kenvi, how they roamed around the map. I know that you don't necessarily like it into this composition, but they do go for something different.
So I was thinking Syndra, just because you can push around Ahri in the first few levels, then you have the range to try and deal with Jinx. Vex, though, this is all about going in the dive, and we'll see if Gamsu can help be that dive buddy, as we did tease the Ornn. That will be locked in for Tony Top. He's 7 plays on it, 1 so far in PG. It's been good. And then for the side of Iconic, we don't see a ton of Xin anymore, but it is his most played this split, and he's returning to it.
Throwback to the beginning of the season now, when we saw a lot of great play coming in from Golden Guardians. But this is what you were talking about. We were talking about this in the break, that if Ornn gets picked by Tony Top, it's going to be Gamsu's GP.
So Gamsu's Gangplank 4-0 in Proving Grounds. We saw it banned from him first phase by Immortals for, I think, the majority, if not all, of yesterday's game.
Double check.
This is a matchup that Gamsu's really comfortable with. I think the funny thing, though, for Tony Top, when he played against Team Liquid Academy, Game 4, they did drop to Bradley, but it was Ornn in the GP, and he actually got 2 solo kills in that matchup. So this is something that Golden Guardians would have to know doing their research on 100 Thieves. They're still opting to take this matchup, and they want that front-to-back scaling team fight composition against 100 Thieves Academy, who, again, have opted for more early game playmaking, more early game priority. See if that pays off.
And looking at the stats from yesterday, banned all 4 games, that GP.
Yes.
It was twice in the first rotation, twice in the second rotation. A lot of people understand how well Gompsweep's been performing, especially now that we're seeing Ornn really start to come back into the meta and scaling be the priority.
And it's been a big pick, 400 Thieves. And you think of that Ornn performance yesterday. We'll see if Tony Top can replicate that as he's on the Ornn today. And I think this does answer some of the shortcomings that Golden Guardians had in the last game. You think of that composition, it's like Camille Hextech ultimating in as Engage against a team that has Tahm Kench. That's not ideal. This time around, you have that Ornn Horn, you have Xin to follow up, you have Ari to follow up. I think it's a very much more cohesive front-to-back comp from GG, one that's easier to execute. I think they patched up some of the shortcomings they had in their composition in the last one.
And here into game 2, they got to make sure they win it out with this better composition into 100 Thieves Academy. We are ready for the second part. It is the best of 5s, the losers finals that we're into now at Golden Guardians. Oh, I love these plays, but nobody's there, unfortunately.
Yeah, just trying to get some bot lane prio, as they know if they are in this lane first, it can help quite a bit against the harass that Saya and Rakan can put down, but I think something interesting about this Jinx, you do get pushed the first few levels. And that's something that I think iconic. When I think about how these lanes are going to play out, you got to believe that each of these junglers are going to be pathing towards the bot side. Ornn, GP, feel pretty good leaving both those top laners to their own devices in the top side. So I think it's going to be a lot about which one of these mid laners can get the help from the jungle and try and win that mid jungle duo, and then can they shift the power in the bot? Something that 100 Thieves were so good at doing in the first game, so you're going to replicate that in the second, but very different looks, very different comps for each of these squads.
And it's also that throwback that we have from the side of Golden Guardians. Having Xin Zhao for Iconic, something that he played a ton of at the beginning of the season. Even think back when the Golden Guardian squad was playing in those qualifying matches, when they were playing during all of the tournaments beforehand to get the extra practice. Lots of Xin Zhao, lots of Thresh. They are more than comfortable with these champions.
Yeah, 22 games is in, and then Chime's Thresh is 11-4. It's his most played champ at a very high win rate as well as...
You want me to say the meme or are you going to say it?
I mean, I think that you can take it this time around.
Okay, so yeah, Chime is named after Bard, but he's a Thresh one trick. There we go.
Yeah.
I said it.
Oh.
Oh, nice from Bucio getting the flash, but that play from Chime, the Ignite is ticking. They can get a lot of damage on top of him, force a recall if they need to. Instead, they're going to look for that lane priority.
So part of this, part of the reason that Bucio is doing this, look at Kenvi's path. It is a one-camp bot. Now that Violet doesn't have any flash, this is a giant X marks the spot on the Jinx, and Kenvi is here in time.
2.
This is not spotted.
They can't get the level 2 to get that lantern. Instead, it's going to be the play. There is the level 2, and there's the flash away by Chime. They couldn't get a replay coming in from Chime to be able to pull back in anybody, but they survive.
So Kenvi going to be very far behind in camps now, where he's going to flip his clear and trying to work towards that top crab. I respect the attempt from 100 Thieves. I think that's a well-thought-out game plan, but Bucio was not anywhere close to being able to help out there. Really had to respect the fact that his flash was down, and therefore it is no flashes for the bot lane of Golden Guardians. They still feel okay with where they're at early.
And even if they're feeling okay, you still got to worry about what Iconic's going to do this time around, because guess what he was doing that entire time? That Kenvi looked for that play after the 1 buff. He's been clearing out the farm, clearing out these camps so that he can get that level 4 and look to see if he can skirmish against Kenvi early.
You see Iconic, Kenvi, I did predict that he would, try and flip that pathing and go towards the top side for that crab. He is not. So Iconic finished up his 5th camp. He's going to be looking for that crab, but here's the rinse and repeat.
Yeah, no flash this time for Chime, so Chime in the alcove will die to first blood for Wixie.
And I love the game plan again from 100 Thieves Academy, but this time Iconic is going to get quite a bit for it. Ryoma is TPing back. Iconic might force the flash.
Just trying to get a lot of damage. There it is, the flash coming in, but flash answer kill for Iconic. Whoa, Jimmian.
Well played, and a bit of a mistake from Jimmian. At that point, he should know that Iconic looking to crab, looking to cross, because he spotted Kenvi on the bot side, not respecting it, not calmed. Big kill for Iconic. He's going to get the Raptors as well. He's going to get the crab. So with all the proactivity around bot, yes, they do find them a lead in the bot lane for 100 Thieves Academy, but Golden Guardians, they at least are able to answer in return earlier.
And let's take a look at the display in the bot lane first. I mean, your summoner list, it's hard to get out.
This is just, the punish early and then Kenvi revisiting, right? And that's set up, from early. Like, we were going to 1-camp bot. That's why Bucio traded out flashes. It was a good game plan for 100 Thieves. This is a mistake from Jimmy. Can't show on this wave.
The biggest mistake was that he used personal space before he got the flash.
The CD.
He didn't have the fear. That's what happened. I was wondering where that was because the fear was up, but he had used it before the fear became available.
No CDs. A little bit greedy from the mid laner of 100 Thieves Academy, and you can't do that against Golden Guardians. Again, they are our 3rd seeded Academy squad. Very good regular season. Violet's done his best step into the shoes as Stixay, someone who was supposed to start from day one, continues to level up his play as he gets more comfortable in NA. We'll see if Golden Guardians can level up their play compared to what they showed in game 1, as they're going to need that to try and even up this series. But at least early, they're responding earlier. Like, think about the last game. It took them like 15 minutes to find a proactive play that went their way against 100 Thieves Academy. At least this time, Iconic able to read Kenby, find themselves a favorable play, and at least trade something out in response.
And while they're trading, gold back and forth, a little bit of tempo here and there. You can see that Kenby is the first one to look for that dragon. They've got priority in the bot lane. They don't really have that in mid lane, but with Ryoma looking to possibly reset, it should just be a gifted over dragon.
And this feels like last game. We think of what 100 Thieves Academy did. Take right side. Kenby goes bot after 3 camps. It's 1 camp now, but still, bot lane has a lead. They have prio.
Are they going for the fight afterwards? I think they are.
Low enough?
That's going to be the Lantern. They try to see if they can find something, but that's going to be the grand entry with the double knockup coming in, with the pull coming back on to Kenby, looking to see what they can get, but both of them are low with that nice feather pull. They got the kill on the one, but now here's Ryoma. He's over the wall. He's got resets if he wants to keep chasing it down, and you better bet he wants to chase it down. Double kill for Ryoma.
Ryoma had level 6. Jimmy does as well because he doesn't have flash. He can't follow in the river as
Violet's got him. Stop the recall. Triple kill now for Ryoma. He is set up to carry this game, Cubby.
The defending champ of Proving Grounds reminds the defending org that he is still the mid laner that holds that victorious trophy from 2021. And this time, game 1, it was Kenby with the early 3 kills on his shoulders. This time around, it's Ryoma with the 3 kills on Arg.
And it looked a little dicey at first, too, because of this engage from Busio.
This is tough because Kenby obviously is looking for the reset, but he gets so low, he has to preemptively flash out. If he stuck around and took the Zins out, he would have died. He doesn't have 6 anyway, but the fact that Ryoma's 6 and Ryoma was able to move to this play first, massive. That is the reason that this goes over to the side of Golden Guardians Academy. And this time, it is a similar script from 100 Thieves, but the answer from GGA, so much better.
And you gotta love that. You gotta love that bounce back after such a devastating loss in game 1. Utilizing their tools early to look for these skirmishes. Jin Zhao, Ari, so great at finding those plays when they roam together.
And now we're just gonna have to see how Kenby is able to recover. As, yes, it is first dragon over to the side of 100 Thieves, but now, keep in mind, this is a comp where you do have sides that can shove in the GP and the Xayah. I'm kind of curious to see what happens with this Rift Herald, because Xin Zhao is so far ahead. It's going to be tough for Kenby to match, but you do still have push on the gangplank, theoretically.
Granted, and the thing for me is, you had wanted Kenby to visit bot lane to try to get Wixie ahead. He's done so. 2-1 on Xayah. Sure, the play did go a little awry earlier on, but you're getting this gold into something that is meant for lane, meant to harass pretty early on.
I'm just curious what happens with Rift. Again, I think it's important that 100 Thieves is able to break a lane open early as Busio trades.
Busio always getting the flash out of Violet, but now the pull back in on Wixie. He has that Feather Storm, looks for the Feather Recall. Not going to get the root. And, he does get the root on a Violet, but no kill, no fight. They're done.
But again, Busio trading up in flashes. Who would you rather have flash on? Jinx or Rakan? I think I'd rather have flash on my Jinx, right?
Flash is an offensive summoner spell.
Yeah, and again, I think one of the reasons that Busio's doing that, look at Kenby, not playing around that earlier Herald instead, looking to shift his power in the mid, but Ornn is actually here, or at least was hovering.
Looking to see if he can rotate around, especially because Gomsu does not have cannon pro.
Hold on.
Using that for lane priority.
Hold on. Busio. Really intelligent of him not to walk through. Yeah. Good call from the young support. He's not going to get picked by the trap that Ryoma, Chime, and Iconic had laid for him.
I think he had a feeling because he did try to make that play mid lane and noticed that Ryoma was not pathing towards him when they were trying to see if they could shove him into that bottom side.
And hey, props to Iconic. He did win the Smite War on that blue buff. Again, a much better start for the player that has been on this stage, on the LCS stage before with Golden Guardians, as Iconic utilizing that most played champion to great success. Much better answers this time around into Kenby. It's the reason that Golden Guardians find themselves with a small lead, and it's a team comp, again, that we feel like scales so hard and is able to team fight so easily as this game moves forward.
But still, it's a very close game, even if it's a small incremental lead for the side of Golden Guardians. It's about making sure they can find better plays to really open wide the entire gold deficit.
Well, I think one of the big differences is the fact that Ryoma does have 3 kills. This second Dragon for 100 Thieves, we're thinking about what they want to do. You have that Xayah Rakan. Jinx is going to outscale you heavily as the game goes on with an Ornn in front. That early Dragon stacking is really important.
Yep.
And the fact that this Ahri's 3-0, you're able to get shove in onto the Vex, it's going to be really difficult for 100 Thieves to try and play around the second Dragon, continue the stacking. I think it's going to be a big concern moving forward.
Especially because we see that the next one is going to be that Ocean Dragon. There's a chance that we roll for a Hextech Rift, and if that happens, that's a big thing for 100 Thieves to continue to chase down these members on Golden Guardians.
I love this too. Ryoma able to get the TP off mid. You can see the wave top. Tony Top's crash it. Iconic immediately hits that Rift Herald. Really good team play coming out from Golden Guardians. That top side manipulated the waves, utilizing that TP really well. Should be that first Rift Herald going over to them for free in their bot lane. Also backing off. Look at them seeding the wave. Kenvy's down here laying a trap. They're not giving them any angle though to look for it. Really good adaptation coming out from GG.
I love this. Look where Ryoma is as well. Shoves in the mid lane, now roaming it towards the bot lane. They have no idea. They've kind of pinged around that, hey, there might be something afoot, and they wisely recall. They don't look for that play. Instead, they send their members towards the tri-bush.
I think it's so smart, too, from Ryoma. He's not going to face check this try.
No.
They don't spot Busio, so he just hovers, goes back mid, prevents the play. It will still be the Dragon falling for 100 Thieves Academy, but that's no more gold going over to their pockets. Really smart play coming out from GGA and Ryoma.
Right, and that's what I think is great about that play. Making sure they can get that, and plus, they rolled the dice well for the side of Golden Guardians. Not going to be the Hextech Dragon that I thought it might be. It is the Infernal Rift that we have.
I mean, still not bad, right?
Well, it's not bad, but the thing is,
helps.
I'll tell you this. The reason why I was more worried about the Hextech Dragon, you have something like Jinx, and you have something like...
super OP.
Well, it's, yeah, that. But it's also the slow. You can make sure that you can chase down better someone like Violet, someone like Ryoma, if you have that Hextech Dragon soul. You make sure you're always on top of them, especially when you look at 100 Thieves' composition. They have a composition that is built around diving, getting into the backline, and really harassing these carries.
See if 100 Thieves can do that. Again, a team that does spike earlier on the back foot, down 1k gold early. And also keep in mind, GG have done this all while having a Rift Herald still in their back pockets. Iconic still sitting on that Rift, thinking about where that could go. Looks like it's going to go bot as Ryoma gets prio. Love this from Golden Guardians. Again, hovering the right side. Kenby has read this, but GG, they're the ones that have members.
They know he's there, though. Using Wind Becomes Lightning so they can spot out the brush.
Oh, no.
They see that he's there, and here's going to be the re-engage coming in from the side of 100 Thieves. They don't actually pull the trigger. Instead, they're going to turn on to see if they can get Iconic. Iconic's got a lot of damage. Same with Ryoma. There's the Shadow Surge back in from Jimmy, but he's going to get the kill just yet. The rocket. Oh, ho, ho! That was a nice flash from Kenby.
And with all the summoner spells being burned, Shelly wasn't able to crash. 100 Thieves was somehow able to prevent the plates from going over to GG, as that was a really close fight, really close from both teams being able to pick up more resets. None come through as 100 Thieves importantly deny Shelly and keep that bot lane turret healthy.
And honestly, I think that's the biggest win here for 100 Thieves. Sure, they didn't get the kills. It looked a little dicey that they were going to die, but they stopped that crash, the plates going over to Golden Guardians and escalating this game further.
Much needed for 100 Thieves is, again, looking to find ways to utilize the early pushing lanes they did draft. They do have some ways to scale, but we don't like things for them as much as we do for Golden Guardians as things go late. So that's really why we're putting this emphasis on 100 Thieves, as we'll see if they're able to make anything happen. At the moment, no neutrals up. And I think it's curious to see Busio. I don't think he can really make a play on the Ornn, but Busio is hugging the top side. He's at least got to look to hover Jimmy in.
I don't think you need to. There's no really reason to kind of escalate things at the moment. You don't really have the best vision control.
I actually love, like the one day we have Surdy on the desk with us, our CEO of 5-pick on red. We just have like 2 top laners picking Ornn GP, just like hitting away at each other.
Yeah. I know, right?
Surdy's probably like, where's the Fiora, man? Where's the Aurelia?
Like, come on, guys.
Give me the Jace.
See, this is why I like Surdy. He plays aggressively. You know who else plays aggressively? No, I don't play.
Huh?
I play ARAMs.
Who? Who plays aggressively?
I don't know.
Okay.
I was asking you.
I mean, I'm hoping for some more aggression here from GG, as I feel like they do have a few ways to push the pace. Keep in mind, Ryoma, He's 3-0. He now has that Everfrost completed. You can go for these non-committal engages, utilizing that and the charm, really try and attack 100 Thieves. I think if we're going to see any aggression, Mad Magical, that's where I want to see the aggression come out from. Is Ryoma able to get push, try and push this advantage into other lanes?
And at the moment, he is looking to constantly tag team with Iconic, who again steals away that blue buff from Kenvi.
And slowly, Iconic has built up a 30 CS lead. I think a lot of this was GG reading Kenvi, trying to make that play bot when they did take that top lane Herald, but also Iconic, that's the second blue buff in a row that he's stolen away from Kenvi right under his nose.
And I want to bring back to the conversation we were having earlier, where you're looking for Iconic, what he can play into Kenvi on this Viego, what will work into it. Last time they tried the Trundle, didn't really work out. This time, the Xin Zhao is working out amazingly for Iconic, so he can constantly look for plays like that. Even though Kenvi's nearby, they're not deterred. They got a lot of damage on. Oh, what a hook! Chime, he's always on point with those landing with the Ignite burning. They got the kill for Iconic, and Ryoma says, I want more, feed me. I'm here to make it back to the finals, reclaim my trophy on a new orb with more kills funneled into Jinx.
Jimmy's gonna try and get in.
He got one.
That's one reset.
But now Jimmy's in a pretty tight spot. He was able to at least turn one back, and it was Iconic that he picked off right before the dragon will spawn, but it's not like they can get much more after that.
But so I love this.
Oh, wait a minute! Jimmy!
Oh, okay.
It was a nice flash away by Violet. Charm dodge away. Jimmy, you're not about to 1v3, are you? You're not about to 1v3, are you? He is looking for the plays and even getting the emotes coming in from Ryoma.
All right, it's not about to 1v3, but I think that is important because Jimmy, he actually stalls out the recalls from GG. Look at that dragon. It spawns in 10 seconds. They're out on the map first. I wonder if they're going to be able to pick that one up as Gamsu picked up the double buff from the fact that he had that kill.
Well, let's see right now, because Tony Top, he solo killed a Gangplank before, but I don't think he can do it this time. Not with the double buffs that you had called out.
And with Golden Guardians, I love that play. The attacking bot, Ryoma, able to utilize that move. He had the power sitting at 3-0, now 3-0-2, to make sure that he was able to do something proactive on the map. Yes, it's good for GG. Yes, they build up their gold lead. But because Jimmy went aggro in the river, he delayed the recalls from GG. So they were late on the map. 100 Thieves utilized the tempo. They have to pick up that dragon, and they're now at soul point.
And let's take a look at this play. It was a nice attempt initially from Busio, but
it's all Chime, man.
It's all Chime who makes this play work for Golden Guardians.
This death sentence connecting just allows them to chain all the CC they need into Kenvi. No resets come over to the side of 100 Thieves. It is all Golden Guardians. Again, Ryoma, he's here first. He has the lead. He's able to make that map impact before Jimmyan. That's why it's good play for the side of GG. Jimmyan, though, some nice heroics. Again, he only picks up one kill, but that delay, I think, was really important for 100 Thieves Academy.
And we didn't get to see it all the way through, but making sure, even if it's not a further kill afterwards, it's great that you were talking about that, Cubby. Denying a lot of that potential for Golden Guardians to get that. Now they are the ones on soul point. They have 3 dragons under their belt. That's a lot of pressure they can exert over Golden Guardians.
And I mean, I think this game, last game, a lot of it was about Wixie. They got the bot laner ahead. The rookies went off. Even on their most comfortable champs, this game, it's about the soul laners, 100 Thieves. Jimmy, and he's the one that has gold. As
that charm! Ryoma grabbing Kenvi, forcing out everything to be able to survive, and now they can re-engage. They've got Jimmy in low. They've got resets on the side of Ryoma, and now it's gonna be Violet chasing down Busio with the nice little slow and jump over the wall. But does Ryoma go for it? He does. Uses that Spirit Rush. Not gonna connect the charm, but doesn't really need to. Just wants to look for the damage in time again. He lands every hook, man.
The death sentence is looking like a point and click from the Thresh on the side of Golden Guardians Academy as they are able to pick up 3 more kills. Look at the mid and AD for GG sitting deathless, sitting with big bounties on their hands. And there's the one. They are the ones that have this huge gold lead in their pockets as the resets came in for GG, not for 100, and that was the big difference.
We take a look at this too. And this charm initially from Ryoma is what starts off this play so perfectly.
Again, last time it was Chime getting the pick. This time it's the charm from Ryoma as Kenvi. Yeah, him and Jimmy are trying to find any resets they can, but they're behind at this point. Down in levels, down in gold. GG just able to really force their might, their will, and honestly, credit to Busio Wixie. The fact that one of them went down, Busio almost got out. Pretty dang close, but Chime, he's just better. This death sentence, it's too good.
That's so good. Chime is so clean on this champion, and you can see why he always gets annoyed when people think he's the Bard one trick, because he plays Thresh like this, absolutely phenomenally.
During that replay, bot lane that did fall in favor of Golden Guardians Academy, and honestly, man, Magical, it makes the next Dragon all the more important because it feels like 100 Thieves, they are the comp that gets outscaled.
Yep.
They are down in gold. The only way they can really bridge the gap is with that Dragon Soul. I think they really need Infernal Soul to even have a chance in this game. If not, it's all GG.
But the thing is, we still have the scaling on the side of Golden Guardians, and to match the Dragons, you have an Ornn. The Ornn will make up for that entirely.
Oh, I don't think it can put them over the edge, but it really is their best chance of having any chance to win this game.
That's very fair, Cubby. And at the moment, they are quite in the hole, nearly 4,000 gold behind Golden Guardians. So for 100 Thieves, they do have some excellent ways to look for those dives I've talked about before. Looking to see if they can get into the backline, especially on top of Violet. At this moment, while Ryoma is absolutely monstrous on this Fox, you have to deal with late game scaling from Jinx.
And I mean, I really think the savior of this game, it's got to be Gamsu. You look at this GP, left to his own devices that Miramon has completed. If anyone's going to slow down Golden Guardians in their tracks, it's going to be Gangplank with the ult, with the barrels, with that zone control. He's really the only one that has the damage to even try and set up a reset for Jimmy or Kenvi. Gamsu has been so clutch in his run throughout PG. I really think he's the one that has to be the difference maker in this game. We'll see if he's up to it. It's a tough task, a tall order as GG continue to push this game forward. Love this. Ryoma takes this top turret. Gonna base, clean reset for GG getting out on map. 50 seconds away from the Dragon. You gotta believe, gonna be a tough task for 100 Thieves, but they have to fight it.
They have to. The thing is, even though normally you're like, oh, you got 3 dragons, they don't have any, you can sack 1 or 2, you can't in this composition. You have to keep this momentum going, any momentum that you have, because you're falling behind against a composition that is going to continue to get worse and worse as we get further into the minutes and time of this game. So for 100 Thieves, I'm wondering what they're going to play, if it's going to be the Baron or if it's going to be the Dragon.
Now GG, they actually just spotted Wixie with a really late reset. He's trying to get that Miramon completed before the fight starts. This could be the double tier spike for 100 Thieves, but Gamsu, he's also greeting.
Yeah, he looks like in a bad spot right now.
Wants its old teammate.
Getting a little bit of damage onto Ryoma, but there's going to be the charm connecting on him without oranges. It's not okay. It's not okay, Cubby.
But GG, they sent 4 members top. That means this Dragon, I think it's going to be Soul going over to 100 Thieves. So even though GG finds a positive play, respond in time.
We got TPs coming in here. Ryoma's on the other side fighting with Jimmy in 1v1. Trying to see if they can get inside into the pit. It's hard to see if they at least can get a kill before the Dragon is going to fall to the side of 100 Thieves. This might will secure it for the side of 100, but now they got to fight their way out of this. They've got 1 reset at the moment. They got the charm connecting. They've got a double kill coming in from Kenvi. They'll take the Soul and 2 with them.
And GG, yes, it's a play. Yes, they get a pick, but you can't send the jungler up there too. You can't send 4. You have to try and find that with both your Soul lanes. Then you can TP back to the fight. Because that doesn't happen, because GG dropped the setup around the Dragon, that's the one win con that we thought 100 Thieves needed to have a chance to win this game. And they do have the Soul.
That Soul is going to make up a lot for them. It's going to help out, but they still need to find more. They've got 1 shutdown under Ryoma. Good start. Second one is Violet. You have to put more focus on them, especially for Gamsu, who got picked off in that last fight up in topside, but it gave enough attention for his entire team to get that Dragon and then 2 kills afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Gamsu global taunt, I'll take that anytime, right? That's well worth it. Again, this was the one way back into the game for 100 Thieves Academy. It's going to give them a lot more power, especially when you have the range that a Gangplank Azaya has, applying that Infernal Soul. Just a little bit of bonus damage to try and put you over the edge, and also a chance to flip in an early Elder. Because again, the earlier that they fight in this game, the less items and the less power Jinx will have. So I think this benefits 100 Thieves in more ways than one. Now, the one chance that Golden Guardians has, if they're able to set up a clean Baron. You have an Ornn, it's so tough to get through the choke points when you're going up against an Ornn Ahri. If they are able to get Prio in mid and top and, get this vision choke that they're trying to do now, I think that this is the play that GG have to make sure they get Baron buff. When that Elder spawns, they're able to take a lot of the standing gold they have left on the map against 100.
But this is where I respect a lot what 100 have been planning. Getting a lot of extra gold, these turrets that they were lacking prior. But if Kenvi gets picked off like this before they start to fight around the Baron, that could be devastating.
Wixie at least able to throw some feathers at Ryoma, prevent the 9 tails of Ahri from chasing him. Bucio trying to clear out a little bit of vision, and honestly, GG, despite their gold lead, despite the scaling composition, the power of this Infernal Soul, it's slowed the game down here for each team.
And keep in mind, it was a 4,000 gold lead for Golden Guardians before the fight around the Dragon. Now it's 2,000, but also with the Soul buff for the side of 100 Thieves, that makes up even more for the deficit.
And we'll see if we have any Baron posture at the moment. Both teams just looking to farm out 3 waves. Again, 100 Thieves, I think that even though they are down in gold, this is still one of the better points of the game for them to fight. I think they're going to wait on the Soreldas and the armor pen coming out from both Gamsu and Wixie. And also respect the IE spike for the side of Violet, as that has just been completed. So Jinx, very strong at this moment, and any slip-ups they make into Violet will be heavily punished by the side of GG, as it's not only the Infinity Edge, but also the ornaments coming in, that Gale Force, it's empowered.
Same with the one for Tony Top, making up a little bit of that deficit that he suffers against Gamsu, but I'm glad you mentioned it on Violet, because Violet already had the most gold in this game out of anybody. Adding that ornament on top of it makes it even worse. Really makes it so that this gold lead is so undecisive with how we can actually look at it and be like, oh, it's got exactly these stats because you have an Infernal Strike, but then you have an ornament Jinx on 3 items.
Things are getting a little bit funky here. Game 2 of Proving Grounds again.
Why does it feel like game 2s are always the weird ones?
Yeah, I mean, a gold lead and the other team sitting on Infernal Soul. A little bit weird, as things gonna get weird bot lane. Gamsu.
Nice flash, but here's Iconic. Wind becomes lightning, will connect, so Arisha Charge comes in with the Cannon Barrage as well.
Nice,
They've got a lot of damage, but Busio's on the other side. Can he save? It's top laner. Cannot do justice for him. Instead, will sacrifice him to the Wolves.
And that's Gamsu getting picked again, this time not trading out the Infernal Soul, just pushing up a little bit too far up again. The posturing around the vision was on the top side. 100 Thieves not able to support him, pushing into that turret on the bot side. Won't be too expensive, but does slow the game down, get Golden Guardians some even more resources in their pocket. And again, we like this game for them as things go on. So them slowing down this game at the moment, I still think it's a decent strategy for them. We're just gonna have to see if they can play around the Elder. They haven't been able to set up Baron at all. And the closer you get to Elder spawning, the riskier it becomes to start Baron.
Yeah, that it does, and you can tell that 100 Thieves understand that. They are delaying the game as much as possible, not really wanting to see if they can force the hand of Golden Guardians into these weird fights, these awkward positions. See, if they can get up, I keep talking about this, Kobe. If you can get on top of Violet, this is a huge spike for the side of 100 Thieves.
It's tough, though. And you have the Thresh, you have the Ornn, the Xin Zhao can even provide some peel, and everyone on the side of Golden Guardians still. The economy, better for them. The champions, as this game goes late, better for them. We'll see if 100 Thieves can hit this Elder hard, as we have an Elder spawning at like 27 minutes.
That's so weird.
It's a weird game, Mad Magical, but I'm glad I got you by my side for this one.
Nice charm, connects onto Busio. Busio's going to take a lot of damage with the rocket as well. Grand entrance away. Same with the battle dance. Just to get back towards the team, but a lot has been burned on the side of Golden Guardians, looking for that play that they couldn't actually find. So if they have to make it up somewhere else, and still, again, not getting anything.
That's really big. The fact that Ryoma was able to trade his ultimate for Wixie's, Ryoma will get that ult up a lot faster if they delay this Elder. And also you give all the control that Golden Guardians have over this side of the map. Really tough 400 Thieves at the moment as they're trying to 5-stack. But Tony, Ryoma, they're looking for picks.
And we're about 20 seconds out until that Elder will spawn here, Cubby.
Busio's back.
It is going to be very dicey for both teams, with Busio looking for an angle on the side.
And let's keep our eyes on Jinx. I really feel like Jinx is the answer. Can Gamsu slow her down, and can 100 Thieves get on top of the Jinx with Jimmian, with Kenvi? Or is Jinx able to pick up that Lancer and able to utilize the peel the Golden Guardians has and get resets in this fight? Whoever gets resets first will have the advantage.
And no one right now is willing to pull said trigger to start off the fight to get that advantage.
And look at Ryoma. He has his ult up. Wixie does not. So Ryoma's going to look to attack the marksman.
But look at Busio. He stopped the call. He stopped the horn from going into the back line to get the knockup. Gamsu, and they're going to take him down. Iconic gets the kill. They're looking for more, though. Golden Guardians fighting back, trying to see if they can get on top of Kenvi, and they do so. But they lost Violet 2 for 1. Can they continue to fight with the knockup coming in on top of Wixie? They take him down. Iconic is being iconic in this fight. Busio is barely over the wall, but so much has been lost by 100 Thieves.
And the fact that Wixie did not have ult was huge for Golden Guardians, as it's now up when he's into the gray screen. That, the 2 stopwatches by GG, that saves them in the fight, ensures they win, and ensures they pick up the Elder.
And we take a look at this replay. This is big from Busio to stop the charge initially from Tony Top, but it's then afterwards.
And I mean, Jimmian, the ult hits the Ornn, and I think him flashing on the Violet is warranted, but the stopwatch, so good from both him and Chime. No resets for the Viego. That was a big key in the fight. The fact that Kenvi was not able to pick up someone else's champ. He goes down. The rest of the 100 Thieves crumble around him. And now 100 Thieves will have to deal with an Elder-empowered Golden Guardians. You gotta believe that means Baron's down as well.
Oh yeah, easy taking on that. They got the Elder for sure, but they did not go for the Baron. Instead, resetting, utilizing that. And look at the damage difference right there. Even though we had both ADCs die pretty quickly in the fight, they did a good amount of damage, but it's the mid lane that I'm looking at, especially Ryoma.
Honestly, I think it's the jungle. I mean, the fact that Iconic went for comfort, the fact that Iconic's on his most played champion in the split, this was a matchup where we're looking at this like Kenvi is the catalyst of 100 Thieves Academy. Iconic, usually someone that, you know, takes that back foot, builds up the economy, and then GG hit you harder in the mid to later stages of the game. Iconic did a really good job of making sure that when Kenvi was spotted, he punished as hard as he could cross-map early game. I think we're seeing the fact that Ryoma got so far ahead, also attacking the moves that Kenvi made bot, really throwing 100 Thieves those curveballs. It's why Golden Guardians find themselves now 4K ahead with the scaling comp, scaling advantage. As we move into the late game, they're in really good shape to win this game.
With the Baron on top of their heads, also that Elder Dragon they got gotten during the replay. They can set up their lanes now. All they need to do is get this bot lane in order, and they can consistently harass 100 Thieves inside of their base.
And look at this setup, 100 Thieves. They were looking for a pick on bot side because they knew they could not contest the Baron. If Elder is on the enemy team, they cannot touch it. GG. They're stacked up as 4. Really tough for the side of 100 Thieves to do anything. I know that Tony Top's not there, but he does have that empowered teleport if he wants to join at any point. Because at least the barrels are connecting from Gamsu. It's the only reason this tower has not fell.
Yeah, and they got a lot of damage on Iconic, forcing him to go towards the Krugs just to get a little bit of health back so he can stay in this fight. Stay with the team as they set up a 4-1, getting a lot of damage onto this inhibitor turret inside of the base of 100 Thieves. And it makes me wonder, when do you stop them? When do you try to see if you can find that fight? Maybe in 25 seconds when the Elder is gone.
I mean, Tony Top's not even here, and they're just winning out on the 4v5. They have the range Jinx, they have the power of the Elder. Instead, he's prepping this other wave, and they're looking to push hard.
Horn called, and Bucio, he's not able to save his team. He's too far back, and the rocket will be eaten by Jimmian.
And they just need to force them off. They just need to utilize the power of the Elder. Again, it expires in 5 seconds, but if you're walking away with 2 inhibitors down, that's textbook from the side of Golden Guardians Academy.
They've got everything they could ask for right there. They can even look towards this outer turret that still remains by 100 Thieves in the bot lane. So the minions that I was talking about earlier, set up by Tony Top, have been slowly crawling their way into this structure.
And that's why that Elder was so important. Again, 100 Thieves, there's no comfort. They cannot force into Elder. Golden Guardians know this, able to get so much for themselves. As that ultimate from Gamsu will try and force the rest of GG off. And now 100 Thieves, this next Elder that spawns onto the map, they have to deal with 2 inhibitors being down. That's a ton of map control that will be missing for them, as GG should be able to set up an objective, and GG actually sticking around here. Gamsu,
they might as well get the structure. It's almost 3 minutes until that spawns.
I mean, he has no ult, and the TP, yes, he can join, but I think GG realized this. They're trying to get Tony Top to go around. He has that ult back up.
I think you just forfeit this if you're 100 Thieves, and they do just that. There's no real reason to fight it. You have 2.5 minutes until the Elder will spawn. They still had that Baron buff that will time out in 30 seconds. It is a worthwhile sacrifice by 100 Thieves if they want to keep this game and a miracle hope of taking Elder somehow in control.
I think this pivot from GG this game has just been so good, too. You think
Agreed.
About switching up the bot lane, switching up the top lane, going for this more scaling team fight style, the way that 100 Thieves like to play into you. When they get ahead early, they will continue to fight, continue assert their advantage. GG able to punish that, having better timers, having more economy on Iconic. I think that was the big difference in this game. The fact that, yes, Iconic got ahead early, but also Ryoma, those 3 kills. He always had first move. There was no way for 100 Thieves to deal with that.
Horn getting Featherstorm out of Wixie with the rocket connecting as well will force these members of 100 Thieves back towards their base. We still are out less than 2 minutes until this will spawn. Ryoma is looking for a potential play, but he wasn't able to use the Spirit Rush just yet. Waiting it out, baiting, seeing if they can lure in 100 Thieves.
I mean, even the fact that just pushing back into the base, look at all the map control that GG have. Yes, they are spotted on a ward, but you have 2 super minion waves pushing mid and top. You then take full control over this bot side. You don't even have to manicure those sideways. The minions are doing it for you.
And at this moment, things have gotten even more dire if you're on the side of 100 Thieves. Not only is there a Guardian's Angel that has now been built by Violet, but you only have a minute left until that Elder will spawn.
I love the GA. I think it's just really good understanding from Violet that, if he gives a reset, if anyone from GG goes down, that's the only window that 100 Thieves has back into the game. It was a really smart buy coming out of him and shows the importance of this next fight. Of course, it is the second Elder. This should decide the game. Again, the only way that 100 Thieves can get back is if they take this objective. We'll see if they can even get into their side of the jungle to attempt to do so. Because at the moment, trying to get back.
Ward placed down pretty deep, but I believe it's a blue trinket from the side of 100 Thieves.
We're looking at the bot Krug camp down there. 100 Thieves, if they want to go for a big TP, that is an option, but at the moment, Jimmy, he's the one manicuring these waves, and Busio, look at this play from Busio. He's not spotted.
Not at all.
As he goes into this embankment brush, the control ward's going to help. He has a huge flank, and Violet spotted on a ward. We'll see if Busio gets spotted here. I think GG, they don't know that this is up. Busio, he's still lying in wait. This could be a huge flank angle coming in from 100 Thieves.
Oh, no, look at Iconic, too, right into the waiting arms of Busio, but they don't actually want to go for the play just yet. Instead, trying to call the forge guard, but they couldn't do it. There's a lot of damage on the back line. They nearly got Kenby. Kenby's going to be the first castle. No, he's not. He's golden. They've got a lot of damage on Iconic, but they're looking for the feather guard. They're going to be able to get kills for Jimmy, and he goes golden. They've got resets. They can chase him down. Violet, he can't do much. He's gone. No way, 100 Thieves. They might have just clawed this game back, Cubby. The root, the kill. Violet is no more.
The flank, the presence of mind from Busio. This kid, the role swap, we knew his mechanics were great, but the more he plays, the better he gets at support. The fact that he went for that flank angle, game-changing play for 100 Thieves. They take out 4, and they can now take the Elder.
And we were just saying the second Elder, how important it is for victory for either side. It will be 100 Thieves gaining control of a massive, massive objective.
And not only is this flank banger from Busio, but watch Gamsu, watch the GP. Everyone from Golden Guardians is in this choke. The barrel chain into the ultimate. Violet gets stuck. He cannot auto. He cannot move. Can't even punish the GP that's knocked up by Ornn. It is a 3v5 in the front line. And the economy, the scaling from GG still almost wins them this fight with the fact that Kenby gets the reset. Violet then gets zoned out by not only the GP, but also the Xayah from Wixie. That is the game-changing play for 100 Thieves, and against all odds in the later stages of the game, they come back, find the winning team fight, and find the second Elder.
Game 2's Improving Grounds. Name a better duo, Cubby.
Goodness.
I dare you, because now there's an Elder and a Baron for 100 Thieves. Somehow, we've got a game that was looking over. It was looking dire for 100 Thieves. Now they are only behind 1,000 gold, 38 minutes into it.
And the inhibitors, they're back up. They don't have to worry about those side lanes, as it's still tough. I mean, if you make any mistakes, if Jinx gets any resets with the Ahri, it is still a front-to-back scaling comp with Ornn, level 18. Everyone has ornaments in their inventory for Golden Guardians. But it is no easy task for 100 Thieves. But the fact that they have a minute left on Elder, I want to see how hard they try to push this.
I was about to say, I want to see if they can actually gain any control. Take down these outer structures that still remain for Golden Guardians. One will fall, but now can they take down an inhibitor turret and expose one of those advantages?
I think Busio, Jimmy, and they're looking to utilize the extended range of Rakan to piggyback off Wixie and maybe find a big engage as they blast going over. And much like 100 Thieves, how they had to seed everything the GG when the Elder was in their hands. 100 Thieves, they have the Elder, and GG, they have to seed.
And Ryoma was split pushing on the other side. He's not with the team. He's only now just showing up. They've got a lot of damage. They have to fight this one. Golden Guardians got to be careful. They're getting a lot of damage. And here's going to be the engage coming in from Iconic on the other side with a nice knock up back. But they've got so much damage on the side of 100 Thieves.
Jimmy in.
Huge! They've got the kills, though! What do you mean? They've got the Nexus! And we will have 100 Thieves make this 2-0, one game away from returning to the finals!
What a game from 100 Thieves Academy as Busio finds the flank. They hold the chokes, and GG somehow dropped that game. They had the scaling, they were up, but the young 100 Thieves Academy squad, they pulled it together. They zoned them off, pushed the Elder, and man, we have soundproof headsets on. I could hear them screaming from their seats. They are pumped about that victory.
I would be too if I were them back there. Woo. That was a absolutely stunning game to witness. Like I said, game 2 is Improving Grounds. There's just something otherworldly there.
They had no business winning that game. And that end game team fight, That is text. I don't think an LCS team could have played that better. The way that Busio found the angle, the way that Gamsu and Wixie held that choke, that was some beautiful League of Legends coming out from 100 Thieves Academy. They really take this game. It should have been a best of 3 after this. It should have been 1-1. But now they're up 2-0. They're 1 game away from returning to face Team Liquid Academy in our grand finals tomorrow, making this gauntlet run. And this young team continues to grow, continues to impress us throughout this tournament.
You know, it was fantastic, and maybe we'll get a reverse sweep potential for Golden Guardians Academy, but we aren't there yet. It's 2-0 for 100 Thieves. Coming up next, we have a few words from Chime on 100's improvements. Make sure you stay tuned.
I think 100 Thieves Academy look different since we played them last. I think they've leveled up and also doubled down on Kenvi. I think everyone pretty much knows that at this point, and it's literally just the Kenvi show, and you shut them down or you don't. So, I mean, we'll shut them down.
Welcome on back to the Proving Grounds, powered by Verizon. Game 2's in Proving Grounds, baby.
What a banger.
What a banger. 100 Thieves coming out on top. Sir, do you have any thoughts about that game right if we come off the back of it?
Okay, I mean, while I was watching, I thought Golden Guardians were in a pretty good spot. And I was saying to myself, the only way that they can win is through Buzio getting a flank. And he found that flank.
He did.
They played one of the most beautiful team fights I think I've seen in Academy ever, and managed to just claw it back. Like, if I was on Golden Guardians right now, I'd be feeling really bad.
We were looking at skill checks yesterday in game 2. That's when 100 Thieves came alive, and they're just like, we think we're better than you, Immortals.
Yeah.
And they just started taking fights, and it feels like the exact same thing is happening right now in game 2 once again.
Yeah,
they're
literally
down.
the exact same thing.
Exactly. Yeah. They're down like, 4, 5, 6,000 gold, and who cares? We push buttons better.
Exactly. It all comes down to late game decision making. You see the rebound needing to happen for Golden Guardians, trying to get all their eggs in a basket there for themselves. But it's going to be a tall task. It's going to be a reverse sweep needed for Golden Guardians themselves. But before we get to the rest of the series here, you may know Pro to Pro, but today we got Pro to Joe. Let's go ahead and throw it over to Surdy and Joshi.
Yeah. So if you're familiar, everybody's been saying everybody likes Pro to Pro. I was doing it first. So we're going Pro to Joe right now.
Let's get it.
We're going to start off early on in the game, right, where we have Kenvi going with something that I haven't seen since last Proving Grounds in the upper bracket finals. I think it was Armeo playing Trundle, walks from red buff, goes all the way across. So as we take a look at this, the biggest thing for our audience is we'll talk about level 1s a lot and all the cool things that teams can do. At what point in the game are you as a 100 Thieves player thinking, I want Kenvi to run all the way around and go for this kind of game?
Okay, well, I don't think that this is something that they thought of inside of the game. I think the second that their bot lane saw this matchup, they were like, okay, we can look for something level 1. And they will tell their jungler this, and they will say, if this works, if we do get his flash, you have the opportunity to do this. It's your call. Don't plan on doing it, but if we pull this off, you have the option, and if you want to, you can do it.
Yeah, and as we take a look, right, as Kenvi starts running down, it's exactly what you said. We get to see they just go forward, the flash comes through, and there's a big discussion that we have now. We never checked if Vex actually had the trinket available. We were asking, like, what kind of punish comes through from this?
In my opinion, the only punish that Zinzao can do is because as he shows bot, Zin's on his
You want to hit the purple one right there?
The Zin can really go up to here, go to a Raptor camp, and then can take the Raptors and the Krugs while the Viego thinks that he's in the bot side jungle.
Yeah.
But if the Vex has the trinket and can ward the Raptors, and he does that, the Viego then goes back into the bot side jungle after the blue buff. The bot lane wave is going up like this. They have a minion advantage on the Jinx's side because Jinx is supposed to get bio in this lane. It was just a level 1 cheese. And then they're now forced to extend with double flashes down. Thresh has to try and play Lantern range, and they are just zoned from multiple waves of XP.
Yeah. So let's put you in the mindset of Iconic in this game right now. Obviously, even if we have the God's Eye view and we aren't sure whether or not Vex's trinket is down, what do you do?
Well, if I don't know if Vex's trinket is down, I can't. All I have to do is I have to play standard. I have to make sure that I can help my bot lane get this wave in. I have to be there for them.
And to Iconic's credit, his early pathing was pretty good. He ends up coming up. He doesn't find first blood, but he finds the first kill in the mid lane, finding a large advantage and actually having a pretty big impact on his champion that we were pretty surprised. Well, I don't want to say surprised, but not super excited about just because the Xin Zhao is so much weaker.
The Xin Zhao is a lot weaker, but this is Iconic's stable pick. This is what he used to completely dismantle C9 in their matches versus them when they had 6A as their ADC.
Yeah. Very true. But the next thing, we got to take a look at this big dragon play. And you were not super thrilled that 100 Thieves were going for this. So
No,
tell
I was
me,
not.
you know, let's imagine that we're playing
Yeah.
as Wixie and Busio right now. What are you talking about, and why do you think this play is not what they should have done?
Okay, I think trying the dragon is good because if they do not check this, you do just get a drag for free. But I think you have to be very quick about turning off of it. I feel like they felt as if they were pressured to go ahead and continue on the dragon because they already got it so low. When they can have Kenvi pull it out upwards towards the Vex Ari lane and just walk out, the dragon will reset and they can just take it for nothing. But they wanted to see if they could still get it, which led to the Ari moving down and her getting 3 kills, which is realistically the way that I said, and I personally think Golden Guardians can win this set. They have to snowball mid early. This was the perfect game for that. They played through Ryoma. Once they got Ryoma ahead, they played into the side lane.
Yeah. So, I mean, as we take a look through the play, go ahead and hit the clear screen for me. We're going to have an opportunity to see that Ryoma roams down first. And this is definitely a bit of a surprise. You definitely have both mid laners can push and pull, and it kind of depends on what they did earlier in the game. But as we play through this, Ryoma is the first mid laner to come down here, and both sides suddenly in a bit of chaos. When the first mid laner shows up, that can really be the difference maker. And so as we see Busio go in initially, it kind of devolves into chaos, but Ryoma, he's ready to go.
He is. I think the gank from Iconic earlier means that he has push in this window. Golden Guardians had planned to play through mid. They got the first move, and 100 Thieves played right into it.
Yeah, and you'll notice, right, this is one of those things where, you know, as a mid laner, Jimian never moves up during this, or never moves down, right? He's
Yeah,
just spending the
we see
entire
him.
time pushing in mid. And in the mid lane, you know, there's a lot of people who are talking about, it's like, why doesn't Jimian move down here? What do you think? Like, if you're in this game, do you fault Jimian for not coming?
No, I don't think that Jimian can do anything by coming down. Like, there's pretty much nothing. The play's already over. The only thing he can do is deny waves on mid. Jimian is a player who does not like to take risks. He plays very consistent. He plays pretty slow, and he forces the enemy into bad situations where he has resource recall advantages and then punishes them through that. So he won't go for rooms like this, where maybe he could possibly clean up if they make a mechanical misplay, but he's not going to flip that.
And suddenly, as you were already talking about, right, Ryoma, one of these players that 100 Thieves says doesn't have the X factor necessary to really take off, but you give him 3 kills all of a sudden, and let's go back into the mindset of Jimian. What are you thinking about?
You're feeling pretty bad. You're stuck to your tower as this Vex, something what is traditionally meant to be a pretty decent counter to the Ahri, as you can win the 2v2s using the Vex sphere, no longer can do anything. The Ahri will have first move everywhere, and you're kind of just left sitting there to scale. There's absolutely nothing you individually can do.
Yeah, we'll see a little bit more of that, but let's go back, hang out with Mazel.
Hello. I am back here, and thank you, Serdi, for having a little bit of a breakdown, and thank you, Joshi, for the Pro to Joe segment, as you had said. Did it first.
I did it first.
Yeah, I mean,
In all actuality, it was an incredible comeback in game number 2 from 100 Thieves Academy, and I think before we get to that style, the emotion, the momentum and stuff, we were talking all game long about how incredible Chime was playing the entire time, and how it maybe not is the flashiest of things. He's not the standout that you would see the spotlight on, but without him, things don't go the way they did.
Chime was the highlight of Game 2, in my opinion, completely. He may not have, well, I mean, obviously he's not the one to get all the kills because he's the support, but he is the reason that all of this happened. He hooked Kenvi in that bot fight, which completely turned the momentum of the bot lane matchup. And at that point, the Jinx is so accelerated over the Xayah.
Yeah, but this is a moment that you had a lot of words about, Strady, when we were talking about the game beforehand, because they pick off the gangplank, but Infernal Soul suddenly goes over, and this is a very chaotic fight where we see Ryoma, who got very far ahead, teleports directly into the Vex.
Yes. So what happened before this play actually went into play is they forced the side of 100 Thieves into the top side, which made it so that they can no longer contest the dragon. But as they can't do that, they followed them up and tried to look for a fight. 100 Thieves then realized this, and they immediately recalled so that they could go towards the drag. Golden Guardians gets to pick onto Gamsu, but I think that from that point on, the dragon is gone. You should not take the flip of trying to fight them on the dragon, and instead you should just take the Baron. Then you have a Baron plus Jinx. Jinx will have a third item very soon after that. And even with Infernal Soul, because your comp outranges and is so easy to play, you are going to just...
Yeah. So that's one of another fun topic I kind of want to look at, right? we looked at this composition and we were saying 100 Thieves comp, while very strong, is very difficult to play, particularly from behind. And one of the big reasons for that is they have no face checkers. Who's going to be the first person to get into the Dragon? Who's going to face check for the Baron? And the answer is like, Busio, I guess.
I mean, they have nobody to face check and they have no primary engage other than the Rakan, but the Rakan can't primary engage into the Thresh if they have vision on him.
Yeah.
So the only option that 100 Thieves has left at that point is to do the flanks.
Yeah.
Which Bruzio pulled off like immaculately.
Yeah,
that was really nice to watch.
It's crazy to see that momentum shift in the game, especially so late in the game. But we were talking a lot about stress, players on screen, on stage, and all the stresses that come with that. But something we didn't highlight is the fact that we have two former players, recent players at least, behind them, and in Golden Glue and Acadian. I think seeing them on stage is so interesting to me, just because the development, the growth we've seen from both these two guys throughout their career, and now cresting into, trying to make Proving Grounds finals.
Yeah. I feel like I can't win either, right? I said I thought Golden Guardians were going to be in the lead, but it looks like 100 Thieves at this rate are just going to slaughter them, right? That is such a hard game to come back from mentally. You were ahead, you had everything you could possibly ask for, and you misplayed realistically like one fight, and the game just ends immediately after that. I'm sorry, Golden Mom. There's lots of cool things coming through, but it looks like I'm just like a bad luck charm for 100 Thieves. Now that I'm in the Endless Desk, maybe we can work something out.
All I'm saying for Golden Glue's mom is we need more 100 Thieves players to like her tweets.
True, the Zoomers.
The Zoomers need to follow Golden Glue's mom. We are going to sit to a little commercial break while we do get ready for game number 3, so don't you go anywhere.